together sitting on blankets.
Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the SNM TV podcast for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is Season 5, Episode 9, Best Laid Plans. I'm your host tonight, Jacob, and who do I have with me today?
Me?
Yeah, finally. Where have you been?
Where have I been?
We voted you off the island, but you're back.
Yeah, no. My puppy had to be put to sleep last week, so.
Oh. Well, that's real.
Was it really? Yeah, that's where I was. I didn't really feel the need to.
Yeah, that's uplifting. Thanks.
Yeah. No problem. You asked.
I was gonna say, we did ask. I'm Cleo. Hello, I'm here too.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
You're here all the time.
I'm in the corner.
Okay. So last week, I really loved last week because it was very interesting, the whole time loopy thing.
Oh, God.
After I stopped being confused and just, stopped trying to figure it out, I actually enjoyed it.
Yeah. Just gonna roll with it.
Yeah, you can't, with this kind of like time travel thing, you can't, until it's over with, you can't rationalize it yet.
Mm-hmm.
You can't, because you're just going to hurt yourself, maybe blow out a brain cell or two. Yeah. You can't. I mean, Doctor Who's done stuff like this too, and it's like you can't, until you get to the end of the show. You don't try to rationalize it; just go with it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now can we talk about? Okay, I always want to talk about Yo-Yo because Yo-Yo is awesome, but we got to talk about Yo-Yo and Mac, them two together. And that's a thing that happened. I don't know how many episodes it was ago, but y'all remember Tess? Y'all remember her?
Yes. I mean, she's back.
She did.
She's back.
She's a zombie.
She is a zombie.
She's a zombie. She's really pale. She's a zombie.
Well, she's freshly dead, so I think any of us would be still a little pale.
She's dead.
And like it wasn't even that she was pale. It was like
something was off. And she even mentioned it. She goes, "I don't feel right."
Yeah.
Because you did.
Because you did. But there's something he does. They didn't show how he does it. So I think, we've touched on some of the stuff in other shows we have. If you haven't watched Arrow since, season 3 or whatever it was, the Lazarus Pit, then I'm sorry. But I'm going to spoil it.
They make this sound like it's a
well, I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, no, but they make this sound like it's a Kree blood transfusion, basically.
Yeah, and what I'm saying is that when they came back from Lazarus, they're like, I don't feel like myself. I don't know what I feel. That's how she's like coming across. Like, so it's kind of like one of those things. It's like you're dead, and then if someone resurrects you, you lost something. Something's missing. Something's not right. It's like your body's going, we shouldn't be here.
Yeah, and I mean it's a modified version of what they did to Coulson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
But this seems to be a lot.
She's a lot more aware.
It's also a lot. Well, they also did something to Coulson's brain separate from the blood.
Even he thought that something wasn't right, even when he didn't know. He knew something was wrong. He didn't feel right, and so it's one of those things. It's like once your body is like, okay, we're supposed to die, and then all of a sudden someone brings it back and it intervenes. It's probably it's confused. It's a little confused.
I would like to know if she remembers what it's like to be dead, because she was dead. So like, what happened? Did her mind keep going, or
it sounds like it didn't didn't keep going. It sounds like she died, and then so she didn't go into too much detail, but what she said, it sounded like she died and then woke up on the table, and Cassius was saying crazy stuff and putting Kree blood in her.
Yeah, I know. She sounded like she like talked about how it felt to like almost to die, and then there was like nothing, and then she woke up. That's what kind of seemed like. There was like this big gap, maybe, and she was looked kind of crazy, like kind of freaked out, like she didn't want to say. So who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe she doesn't know herself. I mean, she's not the same person we knew. She's really scared because I think she's scared not only of him, but she's also scared of what exactly he did and what it could possibly do to her in the future.
Yeah.
So.
And I mean, what she is now, she might just be scared of her state.
She's probably just scared of everything.
Yeah.
She's scared of everything.
I don't fucking blame her.
It's weird, because it is weird. It's, 1 minute you're dead, next minute, oh, hi, guess what?
Yeah, and she doesn't hold herself the same way anymore. She's all hunched over.
Yeah, she's very meek. Very like.
Because she's supposed to be dead.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's trying to. Everybody's
trying to tell you something.
Yeah, there's like, we're not supposed to be here.
No. No. That bothers me. I don't like it.
Yeah, no. I was a little relieved because, like, I thought it was very. I mean, obviously, it was meant to be very abrupt. Them taking Tess out of the storyline. And I was like, oh man, she had so much potential, and here she is back, and I'm like, okay, well.
But now I don't want her back.
Actually, no, I
don't want her back like this.
Yeah, no, I feel bad for her, obviously, that she's back, because that sounds like a terrible existence. But I mean, it worked out okay for Coulson, so I have some hope.
I think his was a little different than hers. But yeah, hers seemed like a little more jolting and shock.
Yeah,
like no one. I mean, with Coulson, they took precautions and they
tried to protect him.
Tried to protect him. They took care with him and stuff. With her, it was just like ripping a Band-Aid off, but the Band-Aid's not ready to come off, and your skin comes off with it.
Ew.
But that's basically what it was. She got ripped out of her life, and then she got ripped out of death, and it's just like, it's got to be really.
Oh my god! And I kept rolling my fucking eyes every time they were like, "He's a god. He blah blah blah. He could end the human race." And then he's like, "I am a god to you people." I'm like, "Oh my god! Can you just sit down?"
Max like, "No."
We've met actual gods. Just sit down.
They wear capes.
They wear capes.
And they have long flowing hair. Not anymore, but
some of their hair has been cut off, but it's okay.
But some of them still have their hair intact.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them have a weird ass Maleficent headpiece. But I also want to talk about Flint.
Yes. Kid wants to fight real bad.
Oh, but he's not going about it right.
No, he's not. And like it's kind of frustrating, but I get it because like he just got his powers like yesterday.
Yeah.
Right.
And he doesn't even know what he can do with them yet.
Yeah. He's also lived his life in servitude. Like, he must be just chomping to do some fighting. But to
kill somebody.
Yeah, to his credit, he's hanging back enough. Like, he's following the plan.
Reluctantly.
He's not. Yeah, he's not putting anyone in jeopardy by doing crazy stuff. So he's being surprisingly mature about it.
He's being 16.
Yeah.
He's being 16 because they take him when they're what, 18? And he said he was 2 years away. So he's 16.
Yeah.
So he's 16. He's being a 16-year-old. And I also get the fact that he almost thinks that he's responsible to save these people. But it's like, get everyone together and you can save yourselves. Yeah. You guys can save each other. It's not just one person. I think that's what Mac was trying to instill in him, was that if you do it together, you have a better shot than doing it by yourself.
And it worked.
And it did work. And I know Yo-Yo was a little pissed. She's just like, look, she wants to get a hold of Science and just rip his throat out.
Well, like, I don't blame her. And
I don't blame him. But apparently,
be upset if she did.
And apparently, Science knows who she is. That's the first time we've ever had recognition.
Yes, but we kind of.
And we had an idea.
Yeah, we had an idea at least from Robin's flashbacks last week that Yo-Yo was going to start an incident with the Kree. Like, she was going up that elevator to go start some shit. And presumably that's when she meets Cassius and fights Cassius. And that's how he knows her, yeah.
In the possible future that's in the past.
Say that again.
Time loops!
Yeah, I mean, Fitz and Simmons time loop talk, conversation they had, I was just like, okay, stop, you're hurting my head. Just stop.
But
please.
That's true, and that is a paradox, and that's the thing that Dom loves to bring up when we talk about paradoxes is this is it's essentially a closed loop, because you see the technology that inspires you to, when you go back to the past, make that technology, but you wouldn't have done it if you hadn't seen it already made in the future. So no, that's one of those things.
I begin to think, I mean, they have this thing, that the last video they have is Daisy getting off and and then the world splits in two or whatnot. But she wants to keep her implant in. And it's like, well, what if she didn't have her powers when she went back to Earth? Then she wouldn't have been able to.
Well, she thinks that she is... Okay. I'm still upset because no one showed me actual proof.
Yeah. Well,
they're yelling at my television. I'm like, you have not shown me actual proof that Daisy is responsible, but you have put enough doubt in her mind that she doesn't want her powers back, which is infuriating.
And Voss is kind of an asshole like that. Well, and he put that doubt in Deke's mind too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't know, because they're like history, but they only know so much because their history got erased. Anyone that could have told them the actual history is gone. And then all they got is fragments. And so it's like, oh, we see this, so this is what happened.
Yeah, it's like, here's irrefutable proof that you destroyed the world. It's you leaving the plane.
Yeah, and that's it. It's like, you don't know what happened between the time she left the plane and the time the world.
Yeah.
I mean, and even Fitz and Simmons suggested that it was the gravitonium that could have possibly...
Exactly, and I'm upset I didn't think of that last week. Because we did talk about the gravitonium last week, but I didn't think that it could possibly have been what ripped the world apart.
No, and then what Voss said, that Robin told him there was like a beam of light and all this other. So it could have been anything, and I don't think it had anything to do with Daisy.
No. It's not likely.
I like to talk about this little plan. See, I thought they were foreshadowing this with, Flint just like putting rocks together and throwing them at people. I thought that their plan to save the Earth is to construct it using his powers, because we know from last week, May was told by Robin that in order to prevent what's going to happen, it has to do with Flint. So I thought that, Flint's going to glue the Earth back together. But they have a plan for him to reconstruct the actual model that they can get back, and hopefully prevent whatever it is happening.
Yeah. Because I think the goal of this time loop is to get back and stop this from ever being a future in the first place.
Right. Which I don't know if that... See, we're doing this whole multiverse thing, and I don't know if the future is already going to happen anyway, but...
I don't know.
Because if they leave, this future will still exist, but they can't...
I think it would gradually fade away. Be like a memory. Be like one of those weird memories that you're like, I kind of remember that, but I think eventually, I've seen other shows that do time. Eventually, the memories that you have of that future of that time, they fade from your memory because they're.
It depends on what kind of time travel you're looking at, because
Yeah, I'm just saying the ones I've seen.
Yeah.
The ones I've seen that gradually fades from your memory.
Yeah. Because it could be that the ones who are involved will always remember, no matter how far it goes.
That's possible. Yeah. It's quite possible.
Now, can we talk about Ball Lady?
Of course.
I don't like her.
She dead, so...
She is dead. So, like, I don't like her anymore.
She thought she was the shit until she got a stick through her.
Oh, yeah. So full of herself.
I was like, Frida Kahlo.
Right? She's so... I mean, she was good, but she was so arrogant.
Yeah.
And the fact that she thought that she could, you know, kill anyone.
Mm-hmm.
And when... You know, when you're up against someone, even though Daisy doesn't have powers, it's like she's not. She's a fighter. She's not going to give up. They underestimate the humans, and we've seen this whole entire season of them underestimating them. I mean, we saw with Cassius and underestimating Mac and them and the whole humans on the Lighthouse, and then she's always underestimating Daisy, always and forever. But yeah, so it's like they think that they're weak, but you know the human race is weak and all this other kind of stuff. But it's like you guys don't we're survivors. We will survive. You know, I mean, well, so I don't know. It plays out on a lot of different shows too. Like the alien race always underestimates what the humans can do. When they put
anyone in like a position of power.
Yeah.
Especially with Cassius, who has a it's completely clear now he not only has like a superiority complex, he has a god complex.
I was going to say Napoleon, but yeah.
Napoleon complex. Yeah, he's got a lot of complexes.
Yeah, very complex.
I mean, but the priceless, the look on his face when he realized what they did.
Yeah.
And that he was stuck there with them. The look on his face.
He has the best faces.
He does. Oh my god. And when he started screaming at the end, I started busting out laughing because the camera did this weird shaky thing. That is just so funny.
Like,
yeah, but like funny in a super dramatic way.
Well, yeah. I was laughing because you could see the inside of his mouth and it's not blue.
I didn't bring this up when his brother was around, but you're right. Cassius's gums are not blue. His brother's gums were blue though, and I don't know if they like rubbed the actor's gums with like dye or something or Kool-Aid or I don't know. But and it was very distracting to me because I'm like, that man's gums are blue. Like the inside of that man's mouth is blue. Why is his not blue?
Maybe it's a genetic trait.
I don't know, but we all know. But we know when Cassius got cut in the face, which really should have been his neck, which is a whole other story.
It's a weird angle, yeah.
Where he got cut, like the circle was like blue, like the same color as his brother. But then he wears like a white cover-up.
Yeah, and I actually liked that episode because they showed them putting the makeup on his face.
Yeah, I'm like...
Because the black is makeup, but so is the white.
Yeah, it's like, oh, okay, you want to look like this.
Mm-hmm. This is
a choice.
It gives me a very, like, high-class Roman feel to it. His whole shtick feels like Roman high society, ancient Roman high society.
I find it interesting that the blue man wants to be white.
Right. Yeah, it is weird. It's almost like what in the Edwardian when the men wear all the pancake white makeup and the white powder and the white powdered wigs and stuff and all the rouge.
Yeah. Well, little historical, history lesson. They do that because it means that you're rich enough where you don't have to work outside.
Yep.
But they're blue.
But
So
they're blue. I mean, and there is no outside per se.
Well, not
There's
in
not
space.
No.
Actually, we have not anywhere in the MCU seen the Kree homeworld.
we have not. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe it blew up.
There is.
No, I mean, like, maybe there isn't one anymore. It's like Alderaan.
Okay.
It's not there. It's just not there.
Yeah. Because that, actually, you know what? That's a good point, because they only ever refer to the Kree Empire. They never really say a specific planet. So you're right.
Where
Maybe...
Didn't they have like a base, kind of a base thing? That they found the Kree base on Earth.
Yeah, I mean, they have like settlements and
Yeah.
colonies on like other places. We've never seen like where, like their actual planet.
No.
Ronan, where was Ronan when we saw him at in Guardians?
He was on his ship, or he was visiting Thanos. Those are the only two places we saw him. And I
Yeah.
mean, on the Nova Corps planet. Whatever, I forgot the name of that planet. Which, I know I'm probably jumping super too far ahead, but the promo for next episode, Cassius has like the like black stuff coming out of his mouth and down his eyes like Ronan did.
Oh, that shit.
Yeah!
Well,
I was like,
you know
holy
that-
shit.
I didn't see that, but we do know that Ronan was he was a very religious, traditional Kree. So maybe like that's a religious thing. Maybe that's like those are like
I don't know.
ceremonial thing.
Maybe
Cassius
it's like
is
their
more.
version of Stigmata.
Yeah, right. Cassius is more. He's looking for not only acceptance, but he's thinking to get the acceptance, he has to get this power, and to get this power, he thinks he has to have slaves to worship him, and it's just like this big chain of narcissism.
Yeah.
And it all leads back, to trying to get his dad's approval.
Daddy dearest.
And
You know what? I don't even know
sick
if-
as it is, that's exactly what, even though he says, and says, not necessarily says, but
Mhm.
in case he's not trying to do that and he doesn't care about that. He is, because of what his dad passed him over for his brother
Yeah.
and all this
Who's
other
dead?
kind of
Who
stuff.
killed him?
Who's dead? But yeah, he has daddy issues. He does, and it's really and now it's starting to take shape. It's like his facade is starting to crack.
Yeah.
Because he's like, what's her face? I can never remember her name. Who died?
Ball lady.
We just call her
the ball
lady.
lady. Because he's like, well, when she comes back with the destroyer of worlds, and when she dies, it's like, okay, you don't know she's dead. Guess what? She's not coming back. But his facade's starting to crack because he's realizing he's losing control of all this, and he's like his crazy's starting to come out.
Yeah, because you
Starting
see it. You see it in his eyes when he blows up. He thinks he's blowing up all the human floors, and he's like, "You moved them down."
Yeah, he moved him up.
That recognition. He's like, "You moved them down," and the bombs. No, they moved the bombs up and the humans down, so that
I thought they moved them. I thought they moved them above the bombs. That way, he can't get back to his palace, and he's stuck down there
No,
with them.
because his palace
Where?
is at the top. So they blew up the middle section, so they can't get down to the rest of the humans.
Oh, I thought it was the other way around.
Yeah,
I thought
no, the four of them are trapped up there with Cassius. They wanted to protect everyone else from him.
Well, I know that, but I just thought they
Yeah.
moved them up and up. Anyways, he's
either way,
separated. His crazy is really starting to come out because right now he doesn't have anything.
Mm-hmm.
All he has is what he has right there.
Yeah.
I think it was American Horror Story that said the worst thing in the world is a humiliated man.
Mm.
Or Alien.
Or Alien.
Well-
Alien Man.
Yeah, mailman, men.
Mailman.
Mailman? No,
Maybe
that
he
wasn't what I
was
meant.
a-
You know what I meant, the other mail.
Maybe he was a mailman. And like he got treated like shit like while doing his rounds, and so that's why he's this way.
Never know.
Hey, exactly. Never know.
I do love the fact that basically Mike's like, well, they did tell me you talk a lot. He's like, what?
It's like, I let you monologue, bitch.
Yep. He was monologuing like no. I have never seen any evil guy monologue as long as
Well, Ronan is.
Ron's pretty close, but no,
I'm
he was.
distracting you, Turd Blossom.
Yeah, no. It must be a Kree thing. They like to monologue. I mean, if you notice, his brother did the same thing before his brother died.
Oh my god, you're absolutely right. It must be a Kree thing.
And then that other Kree that visited Earth with Lady Sif, he did the same thing. So, yeah.
They like to monologue. Either that, they like hearing themselves talk. Either way.
Yeah.
Maybe that one.
It's a trend.
It's their feature.
Yeah.
It's inherent. Because I don't think I've ever seen anyone introduce a Kree that hasn't.
Monologue.
No, you're right. At least not a predominant Kree.
Well, the pink Kree don't do that because I think, I know I have this theory now that the pink Kree are considered second-class citizens in the Kree society.
Yeah, I mean it makes sense.
Because all the pink Kree that we've seen have been maids.
Yeah, well, not even maids, servants. Like they were owned. They were part of the collector's collection.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I agree. I think that's very plausible.
I know. I think it'd be interesting to see pink Kree in the series,
Ooh, yes.
if they still exist in this timeline, and because we saw like a kind of like a revolution with the humans, with Mac and Yo-Yo. So I think it would be interesting to see maybe like an uprising. If there's like an episode where there's just a place where maybe like a mining planet where all the pink Kree are.
Mm-hmm.
And it's gonna be great. There's gonna be a song about cleaning up, and they're all gonna
Are
play
they
together.
Snow White all of a sudden?
Then they're gonna
Little birds and.
Then they're gonna realize that they're going to use the mining weapons against their oppressors, and it's gonna be great.
Yeah, but no, I really enjoyed all the aspects of the show. Everything came together really. I mean, everything was very fast paced in this episode.
Yeah,
It wasn't really slow. Any spot. I can't think of any spots that were really slow.
Well, when Enoch was talking, I felt like can you shut up?
Oh,
I
no!
That was the whole
Wait.
point of it. That's what May was telling him to just.
Him and May were my favorite part this episode because he was just saying stuff, and she's like, "This is not useful. Please shut up."
Plastic, go over there.
Yeah.
He's like, well, plastic is quite useful. He walks up and
Love it.
I love the fact she goes, what are you supposed to do? I'm supposed to
Observe
and report. She goes, well, you're not doing either one. Kind of.
Less talking, more observing.
You're right. She's kindly telling him to stop. And
Fuck off.
I also love the fact that Daisy kept pointing out her mom faces.
Yes.
Oh, she has a mom face.
Absolutely strict mom. I love it.
And she's just like, I can't picture myself being a mom. She's like, and he's like, I can. Bed at 11, no junk food. She's like, that's the mom look right there.
Being a mom's hard. To pack lunches.
I think she's given her, I think the whole thing from Bahrain is still in her mind. She doesn't think she could be a good mom.
Well, why it's not going to leave?
No, but I can see, because as much of a hard ass as May is, she is a very nurturing type person. She takes people under her wing, and But yeah, I do love the fact
wings?
she has wings. She does. But I do love the fact
Like
that
Angel?
Daisy. I think Daisy sees it because even though May didn't like her at first, she took and taught Daisy everything she knew.
Yeah.
And she was like a mom that Daisy never really had. And I don't think.
Well, she did have one.
For like 5 seconds.
She was crazy.
But
She
she's
was
crazy.
What
But
happened to her?
I don't think May thought of herself as being a mom figure to Daisy.
Yeah.
Or then again, I don't think Daisy told her, because why would you tell Belinda that?
No, you don't tell her that, but she's going to do it instinctively.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I love about May. I always love that about May. And also she's voiced by Mulan, and that's cool.
She's hardwired to be a mom. Sorry. That's just how it is. She's hardwired to be a badass mom.
And it's sad because you could have had a family with and it's also really sad that I forgot her husband's name because I loved him. But
Lash.
Sure.
I only remember his Inhuman name.
The only psychologist that the show ever has.
And he's gone, and we need him.
Ruined it for all superhero psychologists for the rest of time. Ruined.
I still think that some show, I don't care if it's Comedy Central, some show needs to do a show about a psychologist that treats superheroes.
Well, they almost did it. There was that like comedy show, but it was like an insurance firm for superheroes. I think like that's one step off of. I don't know.
They bounced that show around, and it was only there for like I think one or two, and they like, oh, we're gonna put it here, and then they're like, no, the next one's gonna be over here. I hate when they do that, especially with new shows, because then it's like you're like, I'm gonna watch it, and then they bounce it somewhere else, and they bounce it somewhere, and then you lose it, and then you're like, it's not even worth finding it now, and then the show goes off.
So you know how Night Nurse
Firefly
is? So you know how Night Nurse is like, you know, an actual nurse for superheroes?
What?
Right. A hospital that all the superheroes, a New York City hospital, and then all the
that's where I was going with that. I think Claire should open up a clinic, a free clinic for superheroes where they could just come in. Oh no, but it's a secret office. It's a secret office that's in like, you know, it's like in a subway cart that's like crashed somewhere.
But I just think the concept of a psychologist sitting down with the superhero and them not being in their suit, totally like their plainclothes self, and they're telling them all this, I think it'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh, it was like that scene in Iron Man.
It'd be hilarious because they give them their names, but they don't give them what superhero they are. So the whole time, maybe the therapist is good. Okay, what superhero are you? I think you are this, you know, or something. You know what I mean? I think it'd be hilarious.
So I was in a Quinjet, and I was like really, really upset. And then like I don't know what happened. I landed on this planet where like just like a bunch of junk is, and like there are people like right everywhere. And then Thor was there too.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it ever happened, but I think it'd be hilarious. But
I find that interesting. No, there was a scene, I think it was Iron Man 3, where Tony is like sitting down, he's talking to a therapist, and then it turns out the therapist was Bruce, and he's like, I'm not that kind of doctor.
Yeah.
And he wasn't even listening the entire time.
Of course. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. This episode is kind of like it's the setting off point right now. Everything's launching. We're getting up. We're flying. Yeah. We're flying up. We're getting up to the peak, and I'm just waiting.
Like it feels like next episode is gonna be like the last one for a while, because there's nothing past that in the on the wiki. So.
And they're going on break.
Maybe.
So if we are going on break, and if this is going to be one of those, if this is only going to be like a half season arc. I think we're getting closer to going back home. Mm-hmm. But I kind of don't want that, because I like where we are now. Like I really like the setting, and not just because it reminds me of Firefly, but I like the setting here. I like the characters here, and I like the stakes that are here. So I don't know. Like I obviously we want to know, you know, how, you know, the Earth being destroyed happens, and like we want the answers, but I don't want the answers quite yet.
I don't know. I can see them when they want to go back having some issues, and possibly Flint wanting to go back with them, but he's part of the future, so if he goes into the past, I don't know. It's one of those weird loop things. Was he always meant to go in the past, or was he, you know, kind of one of those things?
Yeah, and it feels like this is and I mean, Robin did say this was the first time she had the answer. She hasn't lived the answer yet, but she's seen it. So presumably this is the first time in this loop she has told May about Flint.
Yes.
And maybe bringing him back is the only way.
Because we didn't see how she left Robin. Because at some point she did leave Robin. but we don't know what point. It's like it's a weird mix up of timelines. It's like, you know, watching Doctor Who. It's like watching Doctor Who and River Song. They're Doctor Who's going this way, but she's going this way. So, you know, it's a weird free way of time.
Mm-hmm.
I got it.
It's interesting, though. It's interesting how they're doing it, and so far they've done it really good. Just enough to confuse you, but not enough. I mean, this episode was close to making my brain hurt about it, but enough to keep you interested about how they're going to go about doing it without, you know, screwing it up. I guess is the words I want to use without fucking it up. Because it could easily like one little thing they do wrong and it makes a chain reaction and causes this future.
Mm-hmm.
But vice versa too. They could do something that stops this future from happening. So
yeah, and I just want to get back. You know, I do love this setting, and I like, you know, spending the episodes here. But eventually, we do have to go back, and, you know, I want to go back so Fitz and Simmons can finally, you know, move in. Like their furniture is still like sitting in the hallway. They haven't even put it in yet. Yeah, and the turtle.
Somebody has stolen that furniture by
Someone stole it
now. Yeah.
Yeah, and get the turtle. It's waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So next episode is episode 10. It's called Past Life. I can't find a synopsis anywhere. This is how short the fucking synopses are getting. So my prediction for next, I don't even know. I stop with predictions at this point.
Oh, it is super short. The one I found says S.H.I.E.L.D. has one final chance to return to our timeline, but their actions may have deadly consequences.
Okay.
It's very short.
Like always.
Yeah. Someone in the team is in danger.
I will
muted, Rachel.
Sorry, I had a coughing fit.
Yeah.
So
Don't worry, I have one before too.
Yeah, it's like, and don't forget Coulson died.
So as much as I would like to say, as much as I love Yo-Yo, I just noticed like this episode, I'm like, oh wait a minute, she's a part of the team now.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took me so long to like realize that.
Well, okay, this is kind of a big thing. What Kasai says, they have a seer. Well, so do I. Who the hell does he have?
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Fucking clairvoyant.
Is it evil? Is it evil Robin? Is it like
no? Because that
Dark
guy,
Dimension Robin?
the doctor that was outside, he was covered in blood. He had blood all over his apron, and he walked in there. So it's like someone that he's torturing. But it's like if she saw she saw everything. Wouldn't you have seen them blowing up the station? And no, I think what Mac and Yo-Yo are doing are something out of the script. Yes, you want to say something that he never thought they would be doing. So I'm just wondering who the hell he has. Does he have past or future someone?
Could be an alien. Could be someone.
Is it
else.
Raina? It's Raina. It's Raina.
Like brought Raina back from the fucking dead or something.
This timeline she just didn't die, and it's great. Raina's back.
Our spiky-faced friend.
Yeah, or maybe she isn't spiky. Maybe in this timeline she actually was, she became something else, and she was beautiful, and she's all, fine and dandy now.
Or what if it's a descendant of one of the team members, and she's not really clairvoyant. She just knows because she lived it.
Mm.
Oh.
Or she lived it.
Or.
And she's being tortured. Why do we keep thinking it's a she? Because all the clairvoyants we've had have been girls.
Except for Robin's father.
Yeah. But
we've only had 3, so.
Yeah.
And 2 out of the 3 were female.
But, so, it could be a descendant.
No. It could be one of the team. If he
has
them strapped to it, if he's torturing them.
Yeah, that's what I meant. It could be one of the team. He could have either future one of them or a descendant, and she's not really clairvoyant, or he's not really clairvoyant. He's just lived through it, and he's heard the story, so he knows what happens. Or
maybe it's him.
He's torturing himself.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's how fucking sick he is.
Don't know. I'm very interested to see who he has.
Yes.
And I have a feeling it's going to be Shocker because they didn't show us. If it wasn't going to be someone important, they would have showed us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or something irrelevant.
Yeah.
And if it's not someone relevant, I'm going to just punch my TV.
Well, don't do that.
No.
Yeah, you might
TVers
not want
are
to do that.
But I'll be upset.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's a
the show, but they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing on this show. Well, sometimes the show does things that make me very upset. But for the most part, I am loving this season. I can't express that enough. I love the season. I love the season. I love the season. The only thing that would make it better if Bobby and Hunter came back together and they're married and have all the babies.
You know,
One of the babies may or may not be Deke. I don't know.
that would be interesting.
I'm throwing that theory out there.
But I mean, didn't they say the name of his dad?
I don't know.
But his last name is what? Deke starts with an S, doesn't it? Anyways,
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Well, anyways, I think that's all for now. Do we have anything to add?
Just curious. I mean, I've heard from different people that kind of stopped watching this like last season, and they, caught up during the summer, and then they're watching. They're like, "This season is amazing. It's like a whole new." And there's a lot of people, so it's not just us. I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, it's great.
Kind of written off the show, and then this season happened. They're like, ah.
Well, see, that's good. Where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. are changing people's minds, and that's good. That's when you know your show's good.
Yes.
Okay, so with that has been our show. Rachel, where can people find you?
You can find me at Twitter at VikingWitch76 and on Twitch at VikingWitch.
Yeah, we'll go follow her. She's amazing. Cleo, where can people find you?
You can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest.
And you can find me and all of my Giggles and Gore and Monsters and Mayhem on YouTube at Jacob Salazar. You can find me on Twitter, tweeting me throughout the week, @thelife at TNoverland. That's TONOWGRELEND. Join the Neverland Society. And this has been the As Seen on TV podcast for Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And you can find all of us here on Twitch, where you might be watching us right now, or you can follow us on YouTube at ASITV Podcast, and you can follow us on all of our other platforms, such as Facebook, Twitter, Google+, MySpace. Join our Discord. Yeah. It's great. Discord, that's still a thing.
That's still a thing, yes.
Bye-bye.
And with that, good night, everybody.
I remembered this time.